Known for its quaint village and rolling surf, the tranquil seaside town of Carlsbad, California puts its best foot forward once every year as it welcomes thousands of runners, including Olympians and world champions, to the world's fastest 5K. Welcome to the 31st running of the Carlsbad 5000. Hi everybody, I'm Tony Aramis along with Matt Turnbull, Elite Athlete Coordinator at Competitor Group. And Matt, it's time for the men's competition at the 31st Carlsbad 5000. 18 men on the line, including our podium from last year, Laui Lalang, Wilson 2, Bernard Lagat, but there's no one real favorite in this race.
No, it's a good race, this one. There's probably 5 or 6 genuine contenders for the crown. People coming off indoors, people debuting, and some of them coming from Australia where they've already had an outdoor season. So it's a nice matchup, and we're excited to see who's the first to break that tape.
Of course, 16 world best times have been run here in Carlsbad, including the men's best of 13 flat, run twice by the great Sammy Kipketer in 2000, 2001, about to set off. And we are away at the 2016 Carlsbad 5000, the world's fastest 5000. And we do have something of a pacer in the field. Matt, who is it?
Dusty Solas is going to take them out. He actually won the inaugural mile yesterday. He's a 4:02 miler, trains with Carlos Handler up at the Big Bear with Brenda Martinez and Boris Berrien after his success. So we've got a good pace here. They're going to go out in about 13:10 pace for the first 2K is the plan.
And as we said, 13-minute flat world record probably never will be challenged. No one's come within a javelin throw of it in years to come. I think 13:10 is the second fastest time on this course, as we see Wilson 2, who was kind of a surprise last year in the orange top, now taking up second place behind our pacer Dusty Solis. And he's not a surprise again this year. He's not going to be able to surprise anyone, but he's probably fitter than he was last year as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the surprise in the field, when I say surprise, just meaning the unknown quantity, is certainly Debeli Gesmu. He trains with Dijen Gebremeskel, who has won this 4 times, as you mentioned before. He's in good shape. He's the unknown, and that's what this race has been about before. No one had heard of Meseret Defa when she finished 11th. So we're looking forward to see how he goes.
And speaking of which, Gesmu, who is on the far outside in the black with white accents, he's also the cousin of Meseret Defar. So the DNA can't have fallen too far from the tree. So the odds are, and just the way he looks, he is smooth as can be and just elegant and not working hard whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right. And the other guy who I know wants to run fast has actually just taken over the lead, is Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda. We haven't had a Ugandan runner here before. He set a national record for 10K a few weeks ago in a very sodden Spanish venue. He's looking to run fast. He doesn't know exactly what he's capable of, but he's here to have a go, and he's just almost urging the pacemaker on a little bit now.
And you told me, again, before the race got underway, that he's one of those athletes where you just get in close to him and see him, and he's got that it factor.
Absolutely. This is the first time I met him, and he has got that factor. He's a very confident young man. He's confident in his ability. He knows what he wants to do this year. He knows what he wants to do next year. I mean, the World Cross Country Championships are actually in his hometown of Kampala in Uganda, so that's really a focus for him between now and obviously Rio. He said, if I get a bronze, it's okay.
1K, 2:38.
2:38, 1K, 2:38, 1K. How's that on the pace, Matt?
Yeah, they're pretty much on pace. Dusty's going to try and keep going for another K, but as we say that, Clement Lagat, the 2014 African champion, is certainly urging him along, and there's 2 or 3 going with him.
You know what just happened is just before the 1K mark, I think you were looking down at the time, Clement Lagat got kind of, his foot got nipped from the outside and he stumbled by 2 or 3 steps, almost went down. And as so often happens, that puts the fear of God into an athlete, and they try to get some open territory as quickly as they possibly can. And I think that's why we see him sort of jump to the front, because he was very nervous. But as you say, he's a 13, 15, 5,000 meter guy, which you said in Yokohama, Japan. Although this is his first road 5K, and sometimes it's not the distance, it's the allocation of energy over distance, which is not on standard 400 meter laps, which confuses debutants on the roads.
Well, that's it. When a race gets a reputation of being a fast race, people psychologically come here and run fast. Obviously, a 5K on the roads, there aren't many world-class fields put together. This is obviously one of them. as they take that first corner very, very quickly. So yeah, I mean, it's psychological that they're going to run fast, and they're certainly licking along at a decent pace right now.
Yeah, and Lawi Lalang is now amongst that lead crew. He's in the second pack alongside with Hassan Mead. As we see Wilson 2, the pacer Dusty Solis. We also see, and of course, Debeli Gezmu.
4:15 mile 1.
4:18, 4:19,
mile 1.
4:20. Was that a 4:20 or 4:15?
4:15. That's the 4K mark.
That's a 4K, okay.
It's a 4:15 first mile, which is very similar to what we've had over the last few years, to be perfectly honest with you.
Last year was 4:14 on the way to a 13:32 winning time, but we go back to 2012. The second win of the Jen Gebremeskel on his 4-race string. He ran 4:12 for that first mile and ended up running at 13:11. So the first splits don't tell you too much. It's who's got running left in their legs in that final mile, which makes the difference. Is now Dusty Solis, our pace setter, has pulled off, and the young Ugandan has gone to the front. You can see by the riffling of his shirt that there's a bit of a headwind here.
Yeah, the wind seems to have picked up a little bit for this race, but Joshua, as we said before, wants to come and test himself here, wants to run fast, and he's the one who's laid the gauntlet down, and the athlete who's gone with him is the youngster from Ethiopia, Debeli Gezmu, and then the second group consists of Bernard Lagat, Clement Langat, and Wilson 2. So there seems to be a 2 and a 3 with a little bit of separation now. Lawi Lalang looks as though he's struggling a little bit to keep in touch with them.
Yeah, 5:18 for that second kilometer, so that was a 2:40 kilometer following a 2:38 opener, which is pretty similar to how the women ran it, pretty even split. And yet, we were talking earlier again, Lawi Lalang, our defending champion, he's run 4 races so far this year, very small competitions, although he ran the Boston Indoor Grand Prix, got third at 7:45 at 3K. He hasn't really done anything to really separate himself or show that he's really in top form. And Bernard Lagat, who was second in this race 2 years ago and third last year in a world best for Masters 13 minutes and 40 seconds, is in 4th place right now behind Wilson 2. As now Gezmu tightens up on Cheptegei from Uganda.
This was much more typical Ethiopian way of running. Joshua Cheptegei keeps looking after the shoulder, almost encouraging Gezmu to come and share the lead, but there's no way in the world he's going to do that. So as we saw before, Meseret leading and the Kenyan sitting in. This has gone much more true to form with Debeli Gezmu just very, very happy to sit and make the race come down to the last 200 meters.
And you could just look at how erect his neck is, no movement in his shoulders. I mean, his form is so smooth and so efficient. Just not that Cheptegei is flopping all over the place, but it's just incrementally less efficient than Gezmu behind him.
Yeah, Cheptegei is a very upright athlete, while Debeli Gezmu, we've seen athletes like Bekana Daba and those sort of athletes have come and won here, and he's very, very typically Ethiopian. But Joshua Cheptegei's just put the hammer down a little bit again, and he's gapped Gezmu a couple of meters.
And this is exactly where, maybe even a little bit earlier on this stretch, that Meseret Tafar made her first gap in the race. Now later on, Caroline Kipkarui did come back on her, but the wind at their back for the first time, and I think the second time, these athletes sort of get the sail effect going a little bit. He's feeling good, he's standing tall, and he's pressing the issue. And there's a gap back to Gezmu. 2 is closing in 3rd place, and Bernard Lagat, the great master, 41 years of age, still solidly in 4th with a big gap back to 5th.
Yeah, all 4 athletes actually look very comfortable within themselves. It's Joshua who has pushed things along. And
801 3K.
801.
It's an 801 and 3K.
So that was a 2:43.
And Wilson 2 moves into 2nd place. He looks as though he's got the chase on. Gezmu's gone with him, but it's Wilson 2 who's just said to that little pack of 3, who's probably got about 20 meters to catch up Joshua Cheptegei.
Cheptegei, boy, he's got he's really gotten taller.
Yeah.
On this stretch. We were just talking about the form of Gezmu looking really good there. 8:38 at 2 miles. Last year, 8:37. 8:33 back in 2012. So a pretty standard issue here for Carlsbad, but the lead is significant, and the fact that there's 3 men bundled together for that second place, if they stay bundled like that and just start fighting for second place, that gap's just going to grow.
I think so, and again, Wilson is urging someone to come and help him close that gap, but it's him who's doing all the work, and Gesmu's, happy to sit on his shoulder again. But the 3 of them are going to have to work together if they want to bridge this gap, because it's not getting any smaller, but it's probably getting bigger, I'd have thought.
And now here we go with these 3 guys.
So Gesmu, Bernard Lagat, Wilson 2, with 2 in the orange outfit. In second place, Gesmu the Ethiopian, Bernard Lagat, the Kenyan-born American, 2-time Olympic medalist at 1,500 meters, second fastest 1,500 meter man in history. Just one of the legends of the sport. I think a 6-time world champion, both indoors and out. The fact that he can run at age 41 with these guys, and he doesn't look any different now than he did back when he was winning 1,500 meter titles.
He's neck and neck with a 20-year-old out of Ethiopia. He's twice his age, and they look as though they're going to battle it out for 3rd position right now, because Wilson is trying to close that gap on Joshua Cheptegei.
And here's another one of our 180-degree turns, the final one before they make that final right-hand turn. So Cheptegei from Uganda takes a little sneak peek. The good thing about the 180s, you can sort of see where your competitors are.
Yeah, you can put me up next to first again.
Wilson 2, second last year, has closed that gap, but right now is in no man's land. The sun has gone in, good for them. Bernard Lagat now is in 3rd place along with Gesmu from Ethiopia, Debeli Gesmu, kind of the training partner of the Jen Gebremeskel, a 4-time Carlsbad champion. And that's the fight for 3rd place.
Yeah, this is the tough part of the race now. They're obviously got the wind in their face for the last time. They've got about a K to run. It's a slight incline as well before we make the sharp turn right onto Carlsbad Village Drive and down to the finish.
4K in 10:43, so another 2:42 kilometer. So he ran kilometers of 2:38, 2:43, 2:40, and 2:42. Very solid, and this is with a coming and going because of the nature of the loop course, a tailwind and now into a head breeze. But we were talking about him running tall. Once Cheptegei started running tall, he hasn't stopped, even into this headwind.
Yeah, and he's got his arms moving a little bit more now as well. He's really putting that last effort in. He knows he's close to the finish. The hard work is not over with yet, but he's got the gap and he's just got to maintain it, and he's working hard to do so.
What we've seen here is a guy who is coming over from Spain running a national record 27:46 in tough conditions in a Spanish 10K race. He's race sharp, he's race fit. He was also slightly, as you said, even though it was a national record, a little disappointed with the time because of the nature of the day in which he was running. So he came here very purposeful.
Absolutely. He's a very purposeful young man. He knows what he wants in life. He's obviously Rio bound. He's not sure if he's going to double 5 and 10 this year, or he's just going to concentrate on one. He's going to do it. I think he's trying to get the 5,000 qualifier in Shanghai, one of the opening Diamond League races, and he's going to take this year as a bit of a yardstick for him, and then really hit 2017 with the World Cross and the World Championships, which will be back in London.
Well, he's going to be right near his 13:28 track PR, but again, that was run at altitude back home, and you can generally take 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds off that kind of time once you're going at 7,000 feet down to sea level. Once again, he took the lead around the 8-minute mark before the 2-mile mark. Made his separation from Debeli Gesmu from Ethiopia and has been stretching that lead ever since.
Yeah, Cheptegei's just turned the corner onto Carlsbad Village Drive, and he still seems to have about a 25-meter gap. We're just approaching 13 minutes now, so he's going to run about 13:20, I'd have thought.
13 flat on the clock right now. Joshua Cheptegei. Wilson 2 from Kenya in second place. Looking like he's going to repeat his performance from last year. But Cheptegei in his debut here at Carlsbad, 13:15 on the clock. The crowd urging him forward, and he eases his way in at 13:24. Wilson 2
backs up at second place again.
13:28. Debeli Gesmu in third. Bernard Lagat trying to hold on. Hassan Mead, and does so. A new Masters world record by Bernard Lagat, the second year in a row. That's a $3,000 bonus from John Laguerre, CEO from T-Mobile, going to Bernard Lagat.
He's our defending champion coming in 6th place, just under the 14-minute mark. He had a tough day today. He's the first of our European athletes, Luke Caldwell.
Pat from Ireland, Holston from Great Britain.
Kennedy Gathuka.
Pat from Ireland, Holston from Great Britain. Caldwell from Great Britain. From Kenya, the NCAA champion. Gathuka from Kenya, the NCAA champion. I can't hear you! Remsky, College Birmingham of Australia. Will Lear, 6th in the World Championship at 1500. You'll probably see him in Rio for the United States at 1500 meters.
Tell me about the race course. Tell me about Carlsbad. How do you like this event?
Carlsbad is really a nice course, and also the weather is very nice. Not like other races where I go and I find that the weather is not friendly. I really like Carlsbad. It's really a friendly weather.
You know, I know you just came from Spain where you ran a national record 27:46 for 10K on the roads, but the weather was not very good. So this made a big difference here in Carlsbad?
Yeah, really. It means there's a big difference between here and Laredo, Spain.
Now tell me about your chances heading toward the Olympic team. What do you have to do? What event are you going to be focusing on?
I'm going to focus in the 10K, 10,000 meters.
And do you have to run a qualifying time, or do you already been selected?
I've qualified, and it's just a matter of preparing for the event.
And what does this win today tell you about your conditioning as you head toward the summer and the Olympic Games?
I think I would think I would be in top 5. Yeah, you know.
You think you'll be in top 5 in the Olympic Games?
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Well, that's a very confident young man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, congratulations here, and the best of luck in Rio.
Thank you.
Another world best in the Masters division. It wasn't an easy one because it was one of your own from last year. Yes. Tell me how the race worked out. You had a really nice chase group going after Cheptegei. Did that help with the record?
Right. He helped me a lot, by the way, because one thing that I realized from last year is that when the first mile, before we hit the first mile, I had a long gap already, which I was running by myself, chasing Lawi and Tu, who actually came second again today. And so when I came over here, I told my coach, and even my wife was telling me, try to put yourself in a good position. You know what? If you die towards the end. That's okay. But make sure you give yourself like an honest effort in there so that you can catch up with the guys. And so that's why you saw me out there. It wasn't easy. You know, I was telling myself, man, what about if they start kicking like one mile to go? I'll be dead. And, you know, surely the Ugandan boy over there, Joshua, started, you know, cranking up a little bit, and we dropped. And I told myself, whoever is remaining, what I can do towards the end.
You know, we were talking to you, say it's hard. I mean, and I'm saying, no, it's hard. Racing is easy. It's training. It's hard to go out there and train against guys who are half your age, to whom even the training is still fresh and new and exciting. You've been through so much. You've won so much. You had such long. What motivates you to keep this unbelievable effort going to maintain this level of excellence? You and Meb Keflezighi, the two masters who are running with the open division guys head up. What motivates you?
I think what motivates me for sure is the challenge that I get when I go out there to compete. I love competing. I love just putting myself in there, and at the end of the race I say, you know what, I give my whole effort. And most of my efforts have been really rewarding. I come first, second, sometimes even third. And when I don't have a good day, I don't do well. But that motivates me to come back. A good race motivates me to come back and do that again. A bad race motivates me to say, you know what, I want everyone to know that that was not my effort. Maybe something went wrong, but you know, I'm going to come back and do it again. So I'll go out there, train hard, and I train with the young guys too, which, you know, it's not easy. Training with Lawi, Sam Jalanga, Stephen Sambu. Let me tell you, me and Abdi always look at ourselves like, what's wrong with these kids? And so that has already helped me as well.
Now, Kip, and finally, what distance are you shooting for? What's your how do you look toward the Olympic trials?
I want to run 5,000 meters still, but my coach is thinking maybe we should just try maybe 10K to see what we can do. So 10K is going to be my first one ever, on the track. And I'm going to do it before we come to the USA trials.
Right. It's great to see you back in Carlsbad. You always put on a great show, and you're such a great gentleman for the sport. Great to see you. Best of luck for the rest of 2016.
Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're waiting for official.
He has no respect for his elders. But he too needs to learn how to hold those.
My high school.
You didn't run in high school?
I was running for in Japan.